rest is up to you, Desmond.
What?
Ezio, in the vault below the Vatican in 1499, was left astounded and confused in equal measure.
Please wait, there's so many questions.
Desmond, in the Animus at their Rome hideout in 2012, feels much the same.
Rebecca, what's going on?
I have to run some diagnostics. I'll get back to you.
But Abstergo, the Templars have caught up with the assassins. Desmond and his fellow assassins are on the run once more. The organisation the assassins have been battling for millennia are winning. Their numbers have dwindled to almost nothing. They still have teams based around the world, but many are dead or missing in action. Those that remain are trying their best to stifle Abstergo's search for other pieces of Eden, the ancient tools of control created by an ancient civilization. Abstergo need just one of them for a special project. A satellite launch that will further strengthen their control over the world and its people. The assassins in Italy need to source a location Abstergo won't easily find them. They gravitate to a place of great importance to Desmond's ancestor Ezio, the Auditore Villa in Monteriggioni, Tuscany. Both Ezio and Desmond are in the dark about many things, but they do know this. Minerva, a hologram from a race long dead, delivered a clear message. A celestial event is on its way. Not in Ezio's time, but perhaps in Desmond's. It is up to him. But where does he start? He has his fellow assassins to assist him. Rebecca Crane, in charge of running the Animus. Shaun Hastings, historian and analyst. And overseeing everyone, Lucy Stillman.
In the Vatican, Minerva talked about other temples, that they're the key to preventing whatever terrible thing is about to happen to the Earth.
But where are these temples?
To find the temples, I'm convinced we need to get our hands on Ezio's Apple of Eden. Minerva altered it somehow when she touched it.
Despite being underdogs, the assassins have one advantage. Abstergo do not know about the temples, and they don't know about Ezio's apple. The other piece of Eden, the papal staff used to open the vault under the Vatican, was reclaimed by it, safe from man. But Ezio has the apple. He may not understand all the words of Minerva, but he understands the power of the apple. He needs to keep it out of the hands of man, out of the hands of the Templars. If you enjoy this summary, remember to leave a like. If you're not subscribed, make sure you are, and if you want to support my future work on the Assassin's Creed series and many other gaming worlds, consider becoming a patron of the channel via the link on the screen now. This video is number 3 in my story summary series of Assassin's Creed, and you can view the previous 2 in the linked playlist. And if you would like to watch me discover this story in real time, take a look in the description for a playlist of my in-depth blind Let's Plays of the series so far. I'm the Patient Wolf, and this is a story summary of Assassin's Creed Brotherhood. The search for the temples, and perhaps the tools to combat the impending celestial event, is the main priority for Desmond and his assassins. For Ezio and his assassins, there are more immediate matters. Ezio and his uncle Mario Auditore flee the Vatican. Ezio, for now, entrusts the apple to Mario, and they leave Rome to return to the Auditore Villa in Monteriggioni.
This place just keeps getting better.
Since arriving at Monteriggioni all those years ago, after losing his father and brothers to the Templars, Ezio and his sister Claudia have renovated and rejuvenated the town beyond Mario's expectations. And Mario has been an important mentor to his nephew, and Ezio has become a vital custodian and hero of the town.
Look, it is Ezio!
Buongiorno!
Salve, Mario!
It's good to be home.
It is their home, their family home, a place of safety and the meeting place of the Assassin Brotherhood. An organisation the Auditore family have long since been a part. Not all the assassins are here today. Paola is back in Florence. Teodora and Antonio are in Venice. The Templar threat has been quashed there, but these cities need an assassin's presence to guard against their return. Bartolomeo and La Volpe are in Rome. The remaining assassins and close allies meet here today to discuss the incredible events that transpired at the Vatican. Ezio regales them of tales of Minerva, the ancient civilization, the temples, and that mysterious name, Desmond.
Amazing.
I cannot imagine such wonders.
and Ezio informs them of the mercy he bestowed on Rodrigo Borgia, leaving him injured to his own fate after their battle. Mercy, a trait hard earned over the years, since his early need to indulge his anger and seek revenge on those that killed his family.
The Spaniard lives?
The assassin Niccolo Machiavelli is shocked at Ezio's decision not to end the threat of the Borgia when he had the chance.
Once our enemies are dead, we can speak of vaults and gods and ancient places.
The assassins know that they need to investigate Minerva's message further, but for now, the Order has a more imminent threat: the Borgia's hold on Italy. The assassins disband to consider their plight. Machiavelli, disappointed, heads to Rome, and Ezio catches up with an old friend, a friend of the assassins, the Countess of Forli, Caterina Sforza.
Shh. What's that?
Probably just training exercises.
Monteriggioni, the cherished home of the Auditore family, was being laid waste by the Borgia Pope's papal army.
Do you have it?
I am keeping it safe. We need to hold them off until the townspeople have escaped.
With the apple still safe, they wish each other luck, and Mario leaves to meet the attack head-on, while Ezio looks to protect the walls.
Uncle, be careful.
I will.
As half a life's work crumbles around him, Ezio knows the town is lost. But they can save its people. Ezio mans the cannons to stem the Borgia attack. As the last of their people escape, the gates are breached.
I know you're there, Ezio! The Pope told me about you and your little group of assassins. And this! So consider this an invitation from my family to yours!
His family is Borgia. His father is the Pope, and he is the leader of his papal army. His name is Cesare Borgia, and he has the apple. He has Caterina Sforza prisoner, and his uncle, his mentor, his adopted father Mario, is killed. He has no time to process this yet. He must see that all have escaped, including his last remaining relatives, his mother and sister. Although wounded, he fights his way to the villa.
Stop! Wait for us!
Where does this passage lead?
To the north.
Let me through. I must go help the troops.
The door closes on an escape route through the assassin's tomb, the shrine to the great assassins that came before him. They exit the walls.
Mario is dead. Take Mother to Firenze.
You are not coming with us. Where are you riding?
To Roma!
Go, my son. Destroy them. But remember for whom we assassins fight.
With revenge in his heart once more, he heads to Rome, the seat of Borgia power, to not only finish what he started with the Borgia Pope, but to end the life of his son Cesare and claim back the apple. They must be eradicated for the good of the people, and to avenge his uncle Mario. But the injury he suffered will prevent this for now. The assassins in 2012 are on the run from Abstergo once more. They arrive to the only place they know they'll be safe for now.
It's our last safe house in Italy.
The Auditore Villa in Monteriggioni.
Abstergo upgraded his cell towers ages ago. The waves go through everything above ground.
The assassin's tomb, the sanctuary deep underground, will be their new home.
Should be safe to set up. Let's get the Animus down there.
Desmond's bleeding effect is still producing images from the past. He sees Ezio in the sanctuary, not as he was when he fled the villa, but older, calmer. The vision subsides as they all do. The bleeding effect is a byproduct of the Animus. The more time Desmond spends within it, the more frequent the visions. These visions need to be monitored. They could drive him insane, kill him even, like they did Subject 16. The tomb has been forgotten for centuries, but it looks just as it did through the Animus, except for one detail: a series of triangles at the secret entrance, which when looked at through eagle vision, produce a set of numbers.
1419, 1420, and 1421. Looks like something Ezio left behind.
What could it mean? But they don't have time to consider it. They need to get Desmond in the Animus in search of the Piece of Eden. It's the only lead they have on finding the temples that could hold the key to preventing the end of humanity.
As soon as we find the apple, I get in contact with our other teams in Europe, but as far as Italy goes, we're on our own. Now get in there and find the apple. Let's get started.
Ezio awakens, still injured from his brush with the Borgia.
Where have you brought me?
You are to meet Messer Machiavelli in front of the Mausoleo di Augusto.
He was found injured and brought to Rome, cared for and clothed in assassin's robes. He still has his blade and his experience, but his worldly possessions, everything he has collected on his quest since he was 17, his money, his codex weapons, they're gone. It has been 23 years since he lost his father and brothers to the Templars. He is now 40 years of age. It's the year 1500. Rome is under complete Borgia control, Templar control. The papal soldiers patrol the streets, stifling freedom. Punishment is harsh, trade is suffocating. The Borgia have an arrangement with gangs like the Cento Occhi, the 100 Eyes, who do the dirty work when needed, and potent threats like the cult of Romulus that inhabit underground lairs lost to time, emerging to drive people back into the clutches of the church with their terror and savagery. The Borgia have the people of Rome in their control, and there is no escape. Still broken from his injuries, Ezio meets his fellow assassin, Machiavelli. With his knowledge of the city and its powers, he sets Ezio on the right path. The good news is that the Borgia think Ezio is dead. He can work from the shadows once more, an advantage they sorely need. For the adversary they now face, Cesare Borgia, will be near unassailable.
He is ambitious, ruthless, and cruel beyond imagining.
His ambition had him kill his brother for power. His ruthlessness meant many were sent to the gallows, and his cruelty, when not carried out by Cesare himself, is outsourced to his attack dog, Nicoletto, who never flinches to enact his sadistic will.
Cesare has set his sights on all of Italia, and at this rate he will have it.
Rodrigo Borgia's death would not have solved anything.
I am inclined to disagree.
Killing one man will not change things. We need to take away the source of their power.
Machiavelli is still bitter that Ezio spared Rodrigo. Their task is even harder because of it. They need to undermine their rule here in Rome, the epicenter of the regime's power. Ezio can take down the Borgia captains who govern the various districts in the city. Once chased out, let the people in the area know that the Borgia are defeated by burning their flags and symbols of rule. Then give them back their freedom by helping them reopen commerce, an opportunity to earn, to show them that the Borgia does not own them. Rome is for the people. The Borgia grip will take time to erode. In the meantime, Ezio needs help. Eyes and ears to gain intel on how to free his friend Caterina Sforza, locate the whereabouts of the apple, and how to find and take down enemy number one, Cesare Borgia. Machiavelli shows Ezio a hideout they can use as their new assassin headquarters. It is given to them by Fabio Orsini. Fabio is a member of the Borgia papal forces.
I've heard a great deal about you from my cousin, Bartolomeo d'Alviano.
A fine warrior.
Fabio sides with the assassins intellectually, but he's bound to Cesare for now, but he wants to break free. His help here by offering this storeroom, and help yet to come, will be invaluable to the assassins.
It is perfect.
The headquarters is an area to regroup, store equipment, converse with fellow assassins, and make plans for their quests. Machiavelli reminds Ezio of 3 factions that can aid them, but they are currently all occupied by their own trials. Fabio's cousin and Ezio's friend Bartolomeo d'Alviano runs the muscle that usually help their cause, but
our mercenaries are ensnared in a losing battle with Cesare's French allies.
The courtesans have always proved incredibly useful to the assassins, and will do now, as they often entertain cardinals of the Borgia Church.
But the madam there is lazy, and would rather attend parties than further our cause.
And the thieves are run by the familiar but elusive La Volpe.
But they refuse to talk to us. I don't know why. What are you going to do?
Make some friends.
In order to get the allies focused on the same outcome, Ezio must smooth their path.
Ezio Auditore!
Bartolomeo is being attacked on both sides by the Borgia army and their allies, the French. If they can defeat one, they can focus all their efforts on the other. Ezio helps topple the Borgia hierarchy in the area, allowing their concentration on the French.
We send those luridi codardi running for the hills!
The mercenaries can breathe for now.
Welcome to the Rosa in Fiore, stranger.
This is the home of the courtesans. Ezio is there to see the Madonna Solari, to persuade her to focus on the assassin's cause.
Aiuto! Aiuto! Madonna Solari!
But she has been taken. But by who?
Slave traders, Messere. They want coin in exchange for her life.
The Cento Occhi clearly working for the Borgia. Ezio, keen to end the matter, elects to pay them.
I have your money. Let her go!
No! Take it up with Cesare!
Ezio intends to. And after seeing off the gang members, heads back to the Rosa, only to find the last people you would ever wish to find at a brothel.
Mother? Sister?
Ezio, Sir Machiavelli said that you might be here.
What are you doing in Roma?
Ezio, we want to help.
I was trying to help you by sending you to Firenze.
Ezio needs his family safe. He can't lose any more to his enemies.
Where is Madonna Solari?
She's dead.
Merda.
Ezio needs the Rosas to stay in business. He needs the intel they will glean from the sinning cardinals.
Without someone who can run things, we're finished.
I'll do it.
You do not belong here, Claudia.
I know how to run a business.
She does. Claudia was instrumental in the revitalization of Monteriggioni, and she wants to help here. She knows the importance of the assassin's work and feels drawn to its purpose, just like Ezio.
You do this, Claudia, and you are on your own.
I've been on my own for 20 years.
Due to his cause and Claudia's focus on the villa, they have been estranged, and this impasse regarding the Rosa further drives a wedge between them. Resigned and conflicted, Ezio heads to see La Volpe to find out why communication has broken down between the thieves and the assassins. It turns out it is due to mistrust of one of the order.
That man is a traitor to our order.
Machiavelli has been an ambassador to the papal court and a friend and confidant to Cesare Borgia himself. Ezio is convinced this is Machiavelli's nature to gain information any way possible. La Volpe believes he is compromising the assassins. They need to find out his real purpose. La Volpe's spies report a meeting between Machiavelli and a Borgia soldier.
What do you make of that?
With the passing of documents to Machiavelli, this casts further doubt on his character, but Ezio still remains convinced.
I know what we saw, but you have nothing to fear from Machiavelli.
If you believe Machiavelli remains loyal to the order, I trust you.
La Volpe's suspicions are calmed for now, and with the help of his thieves, Ezio now has all the allies by his side once more. Ezio oversees the development of the premises of each guild, and in return, each will aid Ezio and the assassins in their quests. La Volpe and his spies will search for the apple.
My spies tell me that the apple has been secreted to someone for a study. I am working on determining his identity.
Claudia and her courtesans will find where Caterina Sforza is being held.
Caterina will be moved to the prison within the castello next week.
Bartolomeo will find the location of enemy number 1, Cesare Borgia.
That bastardo Cesare is in the Castel Sant'Angelo with the Pope.
Able to kill 2 birds with 1 stone, Ezio awaits outside the Castello Sant'Angelo for the arrival of the shackled Caterina Sforza.
Who put you up to this? Was it your brother or your father? Perhaps a bit of both? Perhaps at the same time?
Chiudi la bocca! None speak ill of the Borgia!
Overseeing the prisoner is another Borgia, more beautiful but no less cruel. Rodrigo's daughter, Cesare's sister, Lucrezia Borgia. Ezio infiltrates the castello just in time to overhear Cesare meeting his captains and conspirators.
Forget the Pope, you only answer to me.
Seeing them together, Ezio is transported to the moment the villa walls were breached, the moment his uncle was taken. Lucrezia, these men, all flanked Cesare as his town and uncle were taken. One is Octavian de Valois, general of the French allies currently locked in battle with Bartolomeo's men. His right-hand man, the dangerous Micheletto. The third, dressed in cardinal's robes, is as yet unknown to Ezio.
What of Il Vaticano?
That tired old men's club. Play along for now, but soon we will have no need of them.
Ezio continues on as this information sinks in. Rodrigo and his son may want the same things, but it seems by different means. They are not working together, and Cesare wants power, the reins of Italy to himself, not hampered or overshadowed by his father. Further on, Ezio witnesses the unconventional bond between the Borgia siblings.
Lucrezia.
Have you talked to the Pope about the funds requested by my banker?
He is away from the Castello, and he might need some convincing when he returns.
That shouldn't be a problem, should it? Once I have secured the throne of Italia, you are going to be my queen.
Buona fortuna, Padron Cesare!
Cesare leaves the Castello before Ezio has a chance to get near. The Pope, contrary to the assassin intel, is nowhere to be seen. This is strange, but Ezio can still aid Caterina.
That puts you in your place. Lock it and give me the key.
Ezio must get that key.
My fight is not with you, Lucrezia. Free Caterina, and I will stand down.
Impossible.
Then you leave me no choice.
Rescuing princesses from castles now?
Ezio drags Lucrezia kicking and screaming to the cell of Caterina. Caterina knowing where the key is to free herself.
Guards! Guards! That's enough out of you!
They flee, battling the papal soldiers, and return to the assassin hideout to convalesce and regroup. Cesare has left Rome to fight his conquests in Italy at large. They won't be able to get close to him at present. All they can do is further destabilise the Borgia grip on Rome. They can do this by bringing others to their cause.
To win this war, Machiavelli, we need loyal soldiers. By recruiting enemies of the state, we arm those who have been disarmed by the Borgia.
Ezio aids Borgia's enemies.
The liberation of Roma has begun.
Your cause is also mine. My life is at your service.
With each person they recruit, they contribute to their chance of overthrowing the Borgia. Ezio is building and growing their brotherhood. Caterina leaves to her besieged hometown of Forli with these parting words.
You are the leader of the assassins now. Unite them, Ezio Auditore, and take back Roma.
He aims to do so, and while scouring the city for candidates to their cause, he encounters an old friend.
Ezio, over here.
The artist, inventor, and genius that deciphered the Codex, Leonardo Da Vinci.
Come here.
Leonardo has been coerced into helping the Borgia.
They would have killed me had I refused.
What do they want?
War machines. Cesare intends to supply his army with my creations.
The assassins cannot afford to miss an opportunity to weaken Cesare's ever-growing army. He will need to track down Leonardo's inventions, sabotage them, and destroy the plans. Their force will be too strong otherwise. Leonardo has other news. News of the apple.
Cesare left it in my hands to study. Then Rodrigo took it from me, I know not where.
The Pope has the apple once more. They must get to him, but he is locked away deep in the Castello. They must also help Bartolomeo tackle the French army headed by de Valois. And they must also lure Cesare back to the city. For this, Ezio has a plan.
If we cut off his funds, Cesare will lose his army and return without his men. Where does he get his money?
All we know is that he is called the banker.
To find out the identity of the banker, Ezio needs to track the money. He tracks down the guards responsible for transporting the coin, takes the disguise of one of their number, and gains access to a party thrown by the banker. Ezio has seen him before, in the company of Cesare Borgia at the Castello and the gates of Monteriggioni. His name is Juan Borgia, cousin to Cesare.
Cesare is about to speak in the main room, Eccellenza.
This is too good to be true, and also with his father. Cesare should be elsewhere, in Italy, fighting.
Soon, we will be here once more, celebrating a united Italia. And then the feasting will last for 40 days and 40 nights.
Cesare's speech highlights the dissension that Cesare increasingly displays to his father.
We did not agree to conquer Italia.
Rodrigo is not the same man since his defeat at the hands of Ezio. His spirit is broken and he's 70 now. The years have caught up with him. But he has never taken his sights from the aims of his Templar order. Cesare, it seems, dreams of power and the role of Grand Master Templar for himself. He's not content to work with subtlety. He yearns to be followed. He yearns to be feared.
You risk upsetting the delicate balance of control we have worked so hard to tighten.
I have the army, so I am making the decisions. Don't look so glum. Enjoy yourself.
Rodrigo's papal power is being eclipsed by the ambitions of his son. Borgia, father and son, are unreachable now, but nephew and cousin Juan Borgia is in sight and must be killed. His financial acumen is integral to the might of Cesare's forces.
The things I have felt, seen, and tasted, I do not regret a moment of it.
Juan has attended his last party, and the money meant for Cesare is appropriated by the courtesans. In order to put the squeeze on Cesare even more, the assassins must defeat his allies the French, and the need to act has become even more acute, as their general, Baron de Valois, has kidnapped Bartolomeo's wife, Pantasilea, and demands his surrender.
Enter my camp unarmed at dawn! I'll kill you for tutto francese!
Bartolomeo is enraged to attack, but Ezio persuades him towards calm. They steal uniforms of the French, and with Bartolomeo in chains, they infiltrate the Baron's camp.
Why don't you grow up here and release my wife? You savages never learn.
While the disguised mercenaries attack, Ezio finds the Baron and ends his life.
Requiescat in pace.
With the French defeated and Pantasilea returned, the assassins have done all they can to weaken Cesare's army. They must now focus on defeating the Borgia and getting back the apple. The apple is not only important to Ezio, it is vital to the assassins in modern-day Monteriggioni. It's their only lead to the temples. If Ezio can keep his hand on the apple, they will hopefully be able to find out where it is kept. The Templars Abstergo, they think, are unaware of the temples or the impending catastrophe, but they have a mission of their own at the moment.
Our top assassins are busy gathering info about the Templar satellite launch.
The Templars' methods of control are beginning to lose their grip. Capitalism is being questioned, and attempts to control through the TV network are starting to show signs of resistance. They need a new method, and their satellite launch could be the ultimate solution. With a satellite built around a piece of Eden, they can amplify its signal to bend the entire world to their will.
How long do we have before the Templar satellite launch?
It's October 8th, so that leaves us with 74 days. Think about all that you've been through in the last month. 74 days is a long time. If it were up to me, you'd take more breaks.
The bleeding effect so far has been good to Desmond. It's taught his body and mind outside of the Animus to do what Ezio can. Fight, move, to be an expert assassin, but exposure can hurt, and Lucy is worried. She saw firsthand what it did to Subject 16, the mania it caused, his suicide, the only way he had to silence the ancestral voices in his head. But Subject 16 was lucid enough to leave clues for his fellow assassins in the Animus. They could be found across Italy by Ezio, and they produced a video that revealed the origin of humanity and our makers, the ones that came before. It showed Adam and Eve escaping with the apple from slavery, the start of freedom and independence for humanity. Subject 16 did the same in Rome. Ezio tracked down these glyphs that revealed puzzles and information and secret documents on the rise and methods of control that the Templars used over the years, all leading to snippets of video. When collected, this did not reveal a video in full at all, but a program within the Animus, a world within a world. Desmond navigates the space which leads to a computerized form claiming to be Subject 16.
You're dead. I saw your blood.
No time. It is far later than you know.
Subject 16's insanity is well documented, but Desmond takes his words on board with amazement.
She is not who you think she is.
Who isn't? He also talks of Eden and finding Eve.
The key, her DNA.
Is he talking of the woman who escaped with the apple all those centuries ago? That Eve?
I am with you till the end. Find me in the darkness.
He can't be alive, but who was that? Does his ramblings mean anything? Not that Desmond can discern right now. He is reminded of the dangers of the Animus, but he must continue to find the apple. He owes it to Lucy, the team, the world.
Weren't you the only assassin at Abstergo's Animus facility? How are you getting data from them?
Some old passwords work, but I can't dig very far into the network.
The assassins have their focus and all the intel they need.
I'll rest once we have the apple.
The apple lies well guarded behind the walls of the Castello in Rodrigo's hands, and Cesare will head there to seek support from the Pope for his ailing army. But their quarters in the Castello are highly secure. La Volpe may have the solution.
There is a side entrance. Lucrezia's latest plaything, Pietro, has a key.
La Volpe's spies will track him down. In private, La Volpe's suspicions of Machiavelli are re-emerging. as information has arisen regarding Ezio's last visit to the Castello.
Someone warned Rodrigo to stay away from the Castello.
And the Borgia have been alerted as to the location of La Volpe's spies.
We must not be split apart by mere suspicion.
Despite the mounting evidence, Ezio cannot bring himself to condemn Machiavelli yet. He moves with La Volpe to rescue his vulnerable spies, and in doing so, sees a familiar face. One he has not seen since that fateful day at the villa.
Un momento! You were at the Villa Auditore during the attack!
He gives chase.
Why did you run?
I...
You are the traitor, not Machiavelli.
Long live the Borgia!
The integrity of the assassins assured for now, Ezio and the thieves, having found Pietro, retrieve the key to the side entrance of the Castello. The assassins have the strength and means to finish this. This strength in unity has reminded Ezio of the importance of family.
Call the assassins together and bring Claudia.
Despite Ezio's anger at Claudia's insistence on running the Rosa in Fiore, her work has been integral to the strength of the assassins. He is proud of her, and their coldness towards each other must end.
Mario, our father, and our brother, once stood around this fire. Now, I offer the choice to you. Join us.
He inducts her officially into the order, and whilst doing so, Machiavelli looks to recognise Ezio's importance.
You have led the charge against the Templars and rebuilt this Brotherhood. Now, we must put Ezio where he belongs, at the head of the assassins.
The seat Mario left needed to be filled, and with that, his nephew Ezio is now mentor of the Italian Brotherhood. His first act will be to end the Borgia control and retrieve the apple. Ezio gets there in time to see Cesare arrive at the Castello.
I want to see the Pope!
He uses the key to the side entrance and heads to the Pope's apartments.
My funds, my troops, gone!
The Pope and his son's relationship has broken down, and Cesare's actions threaten all that the Templar have worked for. Rodrigo, with cantarella-laced apples, looks to end Cesare's life.
I gave you everything, and yet it's never enough.
Cesare! He intends to poison you!
If I want to live, I live. If I want to take, I take. If I want you to die, you die! Where is the piece of Eden?
Stop! I know where it is!
And you did not tell me he had taken it?
Despite Lucrezia siding with her brother, her loyalty is not returned.
It's me, your queen.
You are my sister, nothing more. Where is the apple?
Cesare, sickened but not killed by the poison, leaves armed with the apple's location. Ezio must learn of it too. Rodrigo is dead. Not at the hands of Ezio, but of his own kin. His influence created a den of vipers, and they both came back to bite him.
Requiescat in pace.
I know where that bastard is going. San Pietro, the pavilion in the courtyard.
Ezio beats Cesare to St. Peter's and uses his gift to find where the apple is hidden.
Looking for this.
It ends now, assassino. My sword will take your life.
But with the poison still running through his veins, he must retreat. Ezio uses the power of the apple to escape the Vatican and its papal guards and returns to the assassin hideout.
Rodrigo Borgia is dead.
And Cesare?
Poisoned, but alive.
We must not allow him to assemble his remaining supporters.
With your aid, I will hunt him down.
Over the coming weeks, Cesare stalls for time as he awaits the arrival of Micheletto and his army.
And then you will see how quickly the assassini fall.
You delude yourself, Cesare.
Ezio uses the apple to put an end to the papal forces in Rome. With his power depleted, he also loses Templar control of the Vatican as they elect another pope not bound to their cause, Julius II.
Rome is not the same as it once was. Borgia money has become tainted.
You will regret this decision!
The assassins have their apple, but Cesare still eludes them. It is nearly 2 years before they next get their chance. In that time, the tables in the city had turned. It was the Templars that needed to hide in the shadows. The Brotherhood receive intel that he is waiting at the gates for his forces to take Rome back.
Gather the assassins. We face him together.
Soon Micheletto and his army will arrive, but you shall be dead before then.
Vittoria agli assassini!
Using the apple, they are able to overcome Cesare's men, but it might be too late. With the arrival of Micheletto's forces, even the apple might not be enough to overcome their sheer numbers.
We will take back my city once and for all!
Except, it's not Micheletto. His army has not arrived. It is a familiar face to the assassins. Bartolomeo's cousin, Fabio Orsini.
By order of Pope Julius II, I arrest you, Cesare Borgia.
No! No! This is not how it ends! Chains will not hold me! I will not die by the hand of man!
Cesare is captured. For now, the assassins can rest. They have the apple. The Borgia are defeated, but something troubles Ezio.
It was the manner in which he said it. Chains will not hold me.
If you are so worried, there is a way to find out.
Despite his fear of the apple, he knows that it will contain the answers he seeks. As the visions bombard him, he immediately understands why Cesare was confident that he would rise again. He knew he had help.
Cesare was right. I have to leave.
What do you intend to do?
Plant a seed.
What Ezio saw through the apple was that Cesare's right-hand man, Micheletto, would free him from his imprisonment. He would regain his strength and his men, and he would continue in his lust for power. Ezio also understood when and where they would meet again. It would be 4 years later, on a battlefield in Spain. But in the interim, he needs to give a safe home to the apple. Neither he nor any man should have access to it now. 1507. The Spanish lands of Viana, Ezio finally catches up with Cesare.
How did you find me?
The apple you stole from Mario Auditore, let me hear.
He fights his way through the battlefield, through the conflict between the Borgia army and the army of Louis de Beaumont. Ezio cares not about the outcome of this conflict. It's not his fight. He only cares about getting his man. He finally meets him on the walls of Castle Viana.
Come then, Ezio! The throne was mine!
Wanting something does not make it your right.
No man can murder me!
Then I leave you in the hands of fate.
And gravity, as Cesare is thrown from the castle walls. The Templar Grand Master is defeated and the work of the Italian Order of the Assassins is completed for now. Ezio will have other fights, other roles to play in their fight against the Templars, but for now, our hero can rest. The assassins in modern-day Monteriggioni now have the location of the apple, in Rome, under the Colosseum. Ezio already knew the location of the vault before the apple told him how to access it. He came across it in his aim to flush out the cult of Romulus from their lairs and seek their treasure, but he did not have the means to enter them. But in speaking to the apple, it gave him the password needed in order to open the vault, leaving the apple safe within it, and to plant a clue for those in the future with his gifts to gain access. He leaves that clue in the form of a triangle in the assassin's tomb in Monteriggioni.
The symbol matches the one on the door to the vault.
Eagle Vision reveals those numbers.
1419, 1420, 1421.
A riddle.
Oh my god!
A riddle that Shaun divines.
The Tetragrammaton, the 72 names of God. If you arrange the 4 Hebrew letters in God's name within an equilateral triangle, their numerical values add up to the same number. 72.
I think we have our password.
The assassins leave the safety of the underground sanctuary and head to Rome, to the Colosseum. If they can get their hands on the apple, they may be able to find the temples. 72 is their password. When spoken, will get them into the vault, and by coincidence or design, there is also 72 days left until the Abstergo satellite launch. Desmond takes the more difficult but known path. The others look for another route. Their paths are to converge at the Basilica di Santa Maria.
Now, supposedly, this church was built on top of the ancient temple of Juno.
Indeed, as Ezio progresses towards the Basilica, he uses his eagle vision to open doors blocking his path. In doing so, he meets a hologram, just like that of Minerva. This one is named Juno, and she is one that came before.
We commit to this space the epilogue of our ending. Let it be found by he who is deemed worthy. Let it shape his path forward. Let it save the world we leave behind.
As Desmond continues to forge a path to the vault, Juno speaks of the previous cataclysm and her efforts to preserve her kind after the disaster, as well as the human race. They left their story and wisdom to the materials and minds of men. But these proved impermanent and were lost to time and left the world ignorant. The ones who came before did not build humanity to be wise, but now the hope of the world rests upon one of them, Desmond. Humanity has the ability to understand, but they used their tools for control, rather than understanding and used them against one another. The ones that came before destroyed what they could and sealed away what they could not in vaults and temples. They could save their wisdom, but not themselves. Time took them in the end. Humans could never understand that of Juno's people because they didn't have their sixth sense. They call it knowledge. Some assassins have the beginnings of it, like Desmond and Ezio, because they are children of two worlds. Skills passed on genetically through the union between the two races. But those with human blood could only use some of the eagle vision, not all. The assassins with mixed blood, the ones with that gift, are all that remains of the ones that came before. Maybe that's why they look to store such knowledge, away in places only assassins could access, so that their race could live on. By coming to this temple, it is Juno's hope that Desmond will activate this knowledge to its full. He will have the knowledge, but according to Juno, it will be too late. Desmond activates a plinth that reacts to his touch and leads them to the vault door. The password, when spoken,
72,
opens the vault.
Time to find out where those temples are.
Desmond reaches the apple, the prize they've been seeking all this time. As he approaches, it bursts into an array of symbols.
That's a Phrygian cap. It stands for freedom, and that's a Masonic eye. Now those two come together in only one place. What's happening?
Shaun cannot finish because Desmond touches the apple and the assassins freeze still. What's keeping them frozen like this?
I can't move.
Your DNA communes with the apple. You have activated it.
Let me go!
On the 72nd day before the moment of awakening, you, birthed from our loins, the final journey commences.
Also, she speaks of one that must accompany Desmond through the gate, one he does not know yet. Who is this person?
The path must be opened. The scales shall be balanced.
As Juno speaks, Desmond is controlled by the apple, becomes its pawn, controlled to move his feet towards its will. It bears his blade and takes aim at his friend, his ally, the person he trusts most, Lucy Stillman.
No!
It is done. The way lies all before you. Only she remains to be found. Awaken the 6th. Go, alone!
Through the apple, this ancient civilization have enacted their plan. The trauma of this overwhelms Desmond. He is lost to this world. He has killed his friend. Why? Juno talks of another he must find. Is it Eve, as Subject 16 mentioned? If Juno is correct, Desmond is destined to awaken his sixth sense, to develop his gift to that of his ancestors, the ones that came before. Before his consciousness is lost completely, Desmond hears voices. One of them is a voice familiar to him, one he has not heard in a long time.
Shit! He's gone into shock. Put him back in the machine. It's the only way to fix this. But the Animus did this to him. Am I the expert or not?
As he passes into black, he remembers the words of Subject 16, spoken in the program he built.
I am with you till the end. Find me in the darkness.
Many questions remain unanswered. Will the apple show the way to the temples? Why did the apple require Lucy's death? Who is the voice so familiar to Desmond? And most pressing, will Desmond wake from this trauma? We look to Revelations next for answers, coming soon. If you enjoy this, leave a like. If you're not subscribed, make sure you are, and if you would like to support the hundreds of hours that go into these videos and support my ongoing summary of the Assassin's Creed franchise, consider contributing via Patreon. I'm the Patient Wolf, and this has been a story summary of Assassin's Creed Brotherhood. Thanks for watching. Thanks for my patrons on the screen now. Take a look in the descriptions for other playlists you might like, and when the Revelation story summary is completed, you will find it just here. See you on the next one.